Hi guys, this is IGCSE O-Level Chemistry, paper 12, June 2015, question 1. The diagram shows a sugar lump in a cup of tea. Which two processes must happen to spread the sugar evenly in the tea? So the first process is diffusion and the second process is dissolving. So a solid cannot diffuse before it dissolves. So these two processes are correct. But they are not in the correct order. The sugar lump must first dissolve and then diffuse. So if these were interchanged, then the answer would have been correct, which is the case in option B. In option C, it says dissolving, which is correct, and then melting. It does not need to melt. So this is incorrect. And so is the last one, melting and diffusion. The sugar lump does not need to melt. It needs to dissolve and then diffuse in order for it to spread evenly in the tea. Therefore, option B is the correct option for this question. Question 2. The results of some tests on a colorless liquid X are shown. The boiling point is 102 degrees Celsius, slightly above the boiling point of pure water, and universal indicator turns green, which means it is neutral. So what is X? X is ethanol. Ethanol is neutral, but its boiling point is less than that of pure water. So this is not ethanol. Hydrochloric acid is acidic, so it will turn universal indicator red. Pure water is neutral. It will turn universal indicator green, but it also has a fixed boiling point of 100 degrees Celsius. So it is not it either. Sodium chloride salt solution. Sodium chloride is a neutral salt, and addition of sodium chloride would slightly increase the boiling point of water. So this is the correct option. Therefore, option D is the correct option for this question. Question 3. The atomic structures of four particles are shown, W, X, Y, and Z. Number of electrons, neutrons, and protons are given. Which two particles are isotopes? So isotopes are atoms of the same element having the same number of electrons and protons, but different numbers of neutrons. So we have 8, 7, 8, 7. So 8 and 8, these are the same number of electrons, and these two same particles, W and Y, have the same number of protons as well, which is 8. Now to see if they have the different number of neutrons. So W has 9 neutrons and Y has 10 neutrons. So W and Y are isotopes. So this makes option B the correct option for this question. Question 4. Q positive is an ion of element Q. What has the highest value in the ion? The nucleon number, the number of electrons, which is less because it has lost an electron, the number of neutrons, and the number of protons. So the answer should be the nucleon number because it is the number of protons plus number of neutrons combined. So this should be greater than the number of protons, greater than the number of neutrons, and greater than the number of electrons. So the correct option for this question is option A. Question 5. Which statements comparing the properties of electrons, neutrons, and protons are correct? Neutrons and protons are both heavier than the electrons. Yes. The relative mass of a proton and a neutron is 1 and 1, and that of an electron is 1 upon 1840 to that of a neutron or a proton. So they are both heavier than the electrons. So this eliminates options C and D. Only electrons and neutrons are charged. If we talk about charges, proton carry a +1 charge, neutron do not carry charges, and electron carry a charge of -1. These are relative charges. So only electrons and neutrons are charged? No, this is incorrect. Only electrons and protons are charged, neutrons are uncharged. This makes option B the correct option for this question. Question 6. Graphite is a form of carbon. Yes, it is an allotrope of carbon. Why can graphite be used as a lubricant? Graphite contains delocalized electrons which move through the structure. This is correct, but this is why it is used as electrodes for conducting electricity, not because of its use as a lubricant. Next, graphite contains weak covalent bonds, so the atoms move easily. This statement is completely wrong. Graphite has a low melting point, so it easily turns into a liquid. Graphite has a very high melting point because it is a covalent macromolecule. And graphite has weak forces of attraction between layers, so they can move. Yes, layers of graphite can slide over one another, making for its use as a lubricant in industry. Therefore, option D is the correct option for this question. Question 7. In which compounds are pairs of electrons shared between atoms? So basically, which are covalent compounds? Methane. Methane is CH4, which is a covalent compound. Lead bromide is PbBr2, which is an ionic compound. And sodium chloride is NaCl, which is also an ionic compound. So the only covalent molecule here is CH4, which makes 1 the correct answer, and because of which option A is the correct option for this question. Question 8. A molecule Z contains 2 atoms of oxygen, 6 atoms of hydrogen, and 3 atoms of carbon. So its molecular formula is C3H6O2. What is the formula of Z? So for A, it would be C3H6O. This is incorrect. For B, it would be C3H6O. Again incorrect. For C, it would be C3H6O2, which is correct. And for D, it would be C4H7O2, which is also incorrect. Therefore, option C is the correct option for this question. Question 9. Copper and hydrogen can each be formed by electrolysis. At which electrodes are these elements formed? So copper is formed by reduction of copper ions to copper metal. So this is reduction. And hydrogen is formed by reduction of H positive ions to hydrogen gas. This is also reduction. Since reduction takes place at the cathode, both of these species will be found at the cathode. So this eliminates options A and B and makes option D the correct option for this question. Question 10. The diagram shows the electroplating of a steel object. A student made the following statements. The object turns a reddish brown color. Copper is pink in color. So if the object is coated with copper, it would turn pink and it may appear reddish brown as well. So this statement can be taken as a correct statement. The copper sulfate solution changes to a paler blue color. We have a copper sulfate solution, but we also have a copper anode. This is the anode. So we would have copper going to copper 2 plus ions when the reaction occurs. So there would be a constant supply of copper ions in the solution. So the color of the electrolyte will not change. So this statement is incorrect. And the copper electrode becomes smaller. Yes, oxidation takes place at the anode. Copper is converted to copper 2 plus ion. It would reduce in mass. So statement 3 is correct. So since statements 1 and 3 are correct, option C is the correct option for this question.